Very warm welcome to everyone joining us for the big race day, which will be the Le Ormonds King's Plate, which races on Saturday, the 7th of January. Really looking forward to a top day's racing, and wonderful to have top trainer Justin Snaith on the line. Good day, Justin. How are you doing?
Well, and you, all spots on here. It's been quite a busy week, but looking forward to what will be an unbelievable race day.
Now, looking at the recent races in the Cape, it's unbelievable getting the attendance and the people down to the track. It must be an electric atmosphere building up to the weekend.
Yes, look, a lot of work's gone into it. Cape Racing, Greg Board's Hollywoodbets, they've really put in a lot of effort into all these big days, and then obviously on what's coming this weekend, where you get La Mora getting involved as well. It's and all their minor sponsors from Cartier, Carpi, all the different sponsors on the day. It's just fantastic. It's going to be one of those special days, and you just feel like if you don't bring your A game and you're not on form, you're going to be found wanting on a day like this, because it's going to be a very tough competitive day.
So you're talking about bringing your A game. I think you got about 31 runners on the day. So besides you, Jono, and the entire team, you have a very busy day saddling. So let's get straight into the feature races. Race number 5 is the Cartier Scepter Stakes, grade 2 over 1,200 meters. Number 13, Princess Keller, is the 22-10 favorite from 7-2. Number 2, Ciao Bella, is 5-1. Justin, let's kick off with number 2, Ciao Bella, a horse with a bright future, dropping to the 1,200.
Look, Sheldon, I think this filly is going to run a massive race. I do think Sean Terry's filly, Princess Carla, last time was very, very impressive over a distance way short of her best. But this race is a lot stronger than that race that day. In fact, I never had a run in that race that she won. And here I come with what I think are my best sprinters that I train, filly sprinters. So it's going to be a lot tougher for Princess Carla, and I really think that a filly that could easily be up to the that type of filly is certainly Ciao Bella. Last time, slow run filly's Guineas was pretty much in the favour of the winner, but take nothing away from the winner. She would have won either way. Back into a 1,200, as you saw with Quintus Light, weights against her. She beat Quintus Light quite convincingly over this distance. So I think that shows that as a sprinter, she's very, very versatile. And certainly I think the horse that could possibly give the favourites a good run for its money. We're coming in quite confident with it.
Let's move on to race number 6, which is over 1,800 meters, the grade 2. It's due off at 3 o'clock, and when you step into the ring here, this is a race where you got some top-class quality horses on offer. Let's touch on number 2, Pomp and Power. Now, you elected to bring him back in his penultimate run over 1,200 meters, and then last time over the mile. How's he doing?
He's doing a lot better. I think you're gonna see an improved horse. We haven't had to school him since his last run, so that flattened him completely. So when he ran the 1,200, so much schooling went into getting his mind right that, in fact, the race he was just so flat as a pancake. So then the next race we managed to back off a little bit. He ran a much improved race, and now we haven't had to school him at all because his behaviour is a lot better. And that's certainly for punters, just watch out, because he could be that horse that could easily pop up in this race. Yes, there's 2 very nice horses from other yards in this race, but I've got horses here. If they step up, on their day, they can literally take on any horse in South Africa. So, to pump, I know a lot of people may be losing faith in him. Just be careful if you're going wide, don't leave him out.
Now, number 8, Nexus.
Especially with Richard back in the irons.
Okay, with Richard Fourie back in the irons.
If Richard's back in the irons, trust me, he's not back in the irons for no reason.
Now, talking about riders, you've got the blonde bomber, Pierce Stradom, on number 8, Nexus. And he just seems to get another tune out of this 7-year-old son of Dynasty.
It's incredible, the two of them. I mean, it's unbelievable. Both of them should have been retired a year ago. And yet, they come and pop up every now and again. and both actually look very good for their age, to be honest. Nexus has never been sounder, and Pierre's hair's never been blonder. So, you could just never, ever leave out these two. This is a much stronger race than last time, so you've got now Group 1 winners in here, which obviously makes it a little bit more difficult.
Number 11, Do It Again. He's done everything and more that could be asked of a racehorse for you and the entire team, all the connections. You got Silver, Host and Warrior. Just a quick comment on the three of them.
Do It Again is my dark horse of the day. I think I really have him in a good space, and it's very simple. If Do It Again's in a good space, it doesn't matter what's in the race. He's that type of horse that if he runs to his true ability, he can beat any horse at any time. He's just that type of animal. He glides through a race. He's in a fighting mood, and I do think that he's a horse that you just got to give a lot of respect. Any person that leaves out Do It Again in this race, you're not a horse lover. This horse deserves everyone to put him in. So I like to think that if he wins the race, that every punter is gone through in their pick six, because he deserves it. Give him that honor. Stick him in. And I hope he proves you right. So he really is in a good space. And I hope he runs a good race, because it's horses like this that pop up that just make the day that much more special. And it'll probably bring a tear to my eye if he can pop up.
Well, I'll be rooting for Do It Again. And then you got Silver, Host and Warrior. Silver
Host, the program's not easy for a horse. So as you all know, Silver Host is probably the highest rated stayer in South Africa. He was the best stayer. He sustained an injury. He's been off for a long time. This is a prep race. He's quite useful, even over 2,000 meters. This is a prep race for Met Day. So obviously he did a tendon, and we're hoping he comes through here without any sort of scares or anything. And then maybe keep an eye on him on Met Day and just include him when he runs on that day.
Excellent.
Warrior for me is a jockey strike. You've got to. On this day, there's one jockey that really does always worry me if he's not riding for me, is a guy, Grant van Niekerk. As we all know, Grant's that guy that can pop up. At the last meeting, he won on like 2 20-to-1 shots. Grant van Niekerk can pop up on any day, any race. So if you fancy Warrior and you're a punter, obviously you'll be a little bit more confident with someone like Grant on. So if you're going wide, include him.
I always remember calling that race where African Night Sky came through to win here at Greyville, and I think Grant rode him on that occasion. Am I correct?
100%, and it looked like he was thrown in at the 200, and then unfortunately in the July he didn't quite stay, and he over-raced. So, correct.
Okay, excellent.
Grant is just one of those guys. He's an X-Factor jock, Richard Free, the X-Factor. All these guys are. You've got Christophe Soumillon riding, who is 100% an X-Factor jockey in big races, and I'm sure there's a lot of other guys around that also warrant that respect. But as a punter, you just on the big days, they got the BMT.
Let's move on to race number 7, due off at 15:35. Grade 1 Cartier Paddock Stakes. Weight for age over the 1,800-meter trip. And this will be off at 15:35. Having a look at Justin Snaith's runners. Number 2, Silver Darling. And number 3, Captain's Ransom. Let's start with number 2, Silver Darling. Just having a look at the best weighted column. She's got it all to do at the weights, but how's her well-being?
Look, she's a little bit better off at the weights with Marina from their last outing, so I think that gap will close a bit. I do think there won't be much in the running between those two horses. Silver Darling is a filly that you got to respect, especially, everyone's saying there's going to be pace, they're going to go flat out, they're going to try and make it as hard as they can for Captain's Ransom, they all stayers, and blah, 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 I've heard it all. That will then play into this filly's favour. As you know, she's a Savannah, stays all day. And the faster they go, this filly then becomes a massive runner. So, very interesting. Maybe a horse that if you're going to go wider and you want the pick 6 to pay a little bit, that sort of thing, then include it.
Now we move on to number 3, Captain's Ransom, the Captain L. And this is for the Viljoens. This is a horse of a lifetime. It's like one of those Do It Agains and the Dancer's Daughters. You get these once in a lifetime. You've been very lucky. You had a few of these once in a lifetime horses. But when you look at her record, 16 runs for 13 victories. She's absolutely out of this world.
She is, and she warrants every little praise, and I appreciate what you say because she deserves it. She's an incredible animal. The temperament, Sheldon, I cannot tell you the temperament that this filly has and the love she has for humans. It's the most incredible thing you've ever seen. When you ride her and when you go around, she just got so much trust in humans. She would never ever kick anybody. She's just got the I haven't dealt with a filly with a temperament like this, and so much confidence, doesn't mess around, and they can do whatever they want in the race to make it as difficult as they can, but you can't substitute class. So, but in saying that, there are some classy fillies in here that have done big things on big days. So, respect to all these. It's a small field, but that's the way we like it, and it's champions are in this race, and she's the leader of the pack, and, good luck getting past her and Richard.
So the preparation's gone dead right at this point in time?
100%, Sheldon. So, in Durban over the mile, things don't always go her way. There's circumstances, and here in Cape Town, she gets, she has a little bit of better luck in running and conditions on the day, and things are more, she's more settled and things like that. So I don't foresee any issues, and I think for a punter, you just got to be, you got to be careful. If you love her and you want to make her the banker, great. But there are other horses that, for their reasons, over the distance, they might be more fancied. Then go for it. But from her, she's well, she's fit, ready. Everything's gone to as I'd like, and I don't see any reason why she shouldn't be firing up on the day. And you know what? Go as fast as you want. Makes no difference.
Now let's move on to what could be one of the races of the century. Race number 8, the Laurent's King's Plate, weight for age, grade 1 over 1,600 meters. We've got top opposition here. We got Charles Dickens, you got Jet Dark, Cormetti Ding, Trip of Fortune. Now Justin, when you look at the field assembled, this is one of the strongest fields I've seen in a while.
Well, I don't know, Sheldon. Time will tell, So what I like to say is, yes, maybe on paper and expectation, and horses have been hyped up and things like that going into the race. Yeah, we'll see in a year's time. So sometimes I run a winner, let's say a race like this, and everyone says it's the same, and then a year later you look back and go, no, that wasn't. They haven't done much since. So it's an interesting one. We'll have to see. I mean, the 1 year we ran in this race, and my goodness, I remember when Do It Again, Sean Terry's horse at the time, that miler that has retired. I've never seen a field like that assembled. From Rainbow Bridge, it was that for me across the board. I thought there were 5 or 6 horses at the time in the country that a Legal Eagle, all in the same. That for me was that was a mind-blowing race. Here, I think you sort of. It's whether Charles Dixon is this horse that they hype up, that they think is the next world-class horse, which, yes, it looks like that so far, 100%. So he's going to be a hard nut to crack. He's 5 kilos in at the weights, which he deserves. He's a 3-year-old. But Jet Dark is Jet Dark. It's one thing to think you can win and you're going to beat him and you're so much better. We wait until the fight. It's like a boxing match, and you've got 2 people on either side, and you've got some youngster coming through. It's all good and well until you face off. So I'm really looking forward that they both get that opportunity at the top of the straight and face it off. And if we lose, well, we know we've been beaten by the better horse because we've got no excuses. We're fit and ready, and we can't wait for the fight that will come. And I can assure you, one person that's really looking forward to it is Jet Dark. He's been in many of these before. He's proven himself time and time again. He is the champ. And no matter what he does on Saturday, he'll be the champ afterwards. So be very happy, excited. And I'll be very clear. Speed Machine is the pacemaker. He's in the race for a reason. As you've mentioned, all those horses that you've mentioned, Kumadadung, all of them want a normal pace. So we do not want a race where they're going to go canter and something that goes to the front and steals the race and all the punters lose their money. This horse is the pacemaker. He's going to go out. He's going to make an honest pace. We're not going to go flat out, but we're going to be an honest pace. And and who knows, maybe Rachel keeps going to the line, but she is purely in the race to ensure that the race is run at the pace that it should at Group 1 level.
Well, thanks very much for that, because that is imperative. Paces win races, and you want the best horse to come through, and Jet Dark will really be finishing hand over fist. And then, Justin, not to keep you on the line much longer, race number 10, you got the Future is Bright, One-Way Traffic, and Navy Strength. In about a minute, if you can sum up their 3 chances.
So, Future's Bright, nicely weighted, could be into the money. Navy Strength comes with very good form, probably one of the more progressive stayers at the moment, but this is certainly a step up. There's some very nice horses in this race. One-Way Traffic, I don't need to tell you what I think of him. I think he's a horse with a big future. Last 2 races over shorter, great preps into this. If he overcomes a draw, punters can look for a massive run from him. He's probably one of my better ones on the card, make no mistake.
Well, thank you very much, Justin. We know you and the entire team, you go through everything with a fine tooth comb and a fine toothbrush and everything. You go right down to the bottom. You find everything that can be done is done. And when it comes race day, the horses are prepped to absolute perfection. And we wish you the best of luck. And thanks very much for giving all the comments. Thanks very much to Justin Snaith. Thank you, Justin.
Absolute pleasure. And to your listeners, I hope you win a fortune.
Well, there you go. You heard from Justin Snaith. Let's get the games going on Saturday. Thanks very much to Justin Snaith. They're such a professional outfit. And bring on the race day.